Hey guys, so today I am going to do a video on basics of color theory and just stuff I've learned in school that I thought I would pass on to you guys because I just thought it was super interesting, and yeah, it just helps if you are thinking about maybe going to color school or if you're trying to remember everything and help refresh your memory. I thought this video would help. Maybe you guys learned it differently or whatever. I thought this would help, so yeah, I thought I'd make this video today. So I just have a whiteboard. Please excuse myself today. I cleaned and then I was like, I really want to make a video out in the living room because I've never made one out here before. And yeah, I thought it'd be fun. So I just have a whiteboard and some markers. So I'm going to show you guys the basic color chart. And this is a natural color chart. Excuse my terrible writing. But so this is the natural and undertones chart. And this is something that everybody needs to know. I looked it up online and I feel like it's kind of different for everybody. I'm going to kind of write the way I learned and then you guys can see. But this just gives you an idea of hair colors, natural hair colors, even when you're just lifting. This is going to give you an idea of the colors you're going to see pull out of your hair. So yeah, I'll just write down what it is. So it's 10 to 1 or 1 to 10. It doesn't matter. I do it 10 to 1 because it's just easier for me. So that's kind of what the chart looks like. And if you guys are in school right now and you've done this, pause the video and write it out yourself and see how close you are to what I have. I know it took me a long time, not a long time, but like a while to get all these right and just know them, like know what a 6 is, know what a 5 is, but it's like so important for color. So I'm just gonna fill this in and go through it with you guys. So on this side I have all of the natural, so these are all of the levels. So all hairdressers speak in levels, and pretty much all it means is what color the hair is. So for example, 10 is lightest blonde, so that's going to be like the pale blonde. There are 11 and 12. I didn't write them. They don't usually include them in the level chart, but 11, 12 is like white, pretty much. But 10 is lightest blonde. So that's 10. Very light blonde is 9. 8 is light blonde. 7 is medium blonde. 6 is dark blonde. 5 is light brown. Medium. 4 is medium brown. 3 is dark brown. 2 is darkest brown. And 1 is black. So, sorry, I don't know if you guys can see the whole thing. So, I don't know if you guys have ever seen on a color box, it will say the number, like a bunch of numbers on it. The first number, usually, the first number, which on this one is 7, so that would be 7 medium brown. So that's what the level is. The level is one of the most important things you need to know because that is going to determine what color you're at, what color you're going to go to. These are all the colors you need to know for coloring in general. Like, these are the basic colors that you need to know. So like if I have a person that's in my chair and they're a level 4, which is medium brown, and they want to go to a 7, which is medium blonde, you know you have to lift 1, 2, 3 levels. So it kind of helps with everything. You'll see it makes sense. So yeah. So now I'm going to do all the undertones. And the undertones, or the underlining pigment, is the color that is underneath the hair that kind of gives the color richness or depth. So like for example, dark brown hair has a lot of red in it, and that is kind of the base to the color. If you didn't have any red in your hair and you just put black on blonde, the color is going to look really hollow, and it's not going to look natural or rich or healthy or anything. It's just going to look hollow and not nice. So I'm just going to write the undertones and I'll go through them with you in a second. Okay, so I just wrote out all the undertones. I'm trying to like battle my ring light right now. There we go. Okay. So these are all of my undertones. I wrote them in red just so you guys could maybe see them better. I don't know how well you guys can see them. I'm hoping you guys can see them okay. These are the undertones. Now, it doesn't really make any sense when you look at them, but they actually come in handy a lot. So, like, okay, let's say for example, this is the most basic, you guys know this probably, but palest blonde, the undertone of that is pale yellow. So if you are lightening, let's say my hair, the ends, which is already blonde, this is like a 9, very light blonde, which has an undertone of yellow. If I'm going to lift this to a 10, the color you're going to end up with is a very, very pale yellow, because that is the undertone that is under the lightest blonde, which you're pulling me to. So you're pulling out all that pale yellow when you're lifting, if that makes any sense. And then you would tone with like a T18, whatever, and then it would be a nice white. So it would be like a nice white blonde. If that's what you're going for, then you would want to use a violet or ash toner. So these are just the undertones, so I'm just going to go through them really quickly. So 10, which is lightest blonde, has an undertone of pale yellow. So that's like banana, like the inner of a banana, the inside, not the outside of the banana peel, the inside of the banana peel. That yellow, that is what this yellow is. So if you're going for a 10 and you're lightening and you see a pale, pale yellow, that you're at a 10. So you're good to go, take it off because you're at a 10. Don't go for white when you're lightening somebody's hair, because their hair is going to break off, most likely. So number 9 for the lightest blonde, which is what I have, is yellow. 8 is yellow orange, which is light blonde. 7 is medium blonde, and it has an undertone of orange. And this is where you start getting into the tricky colors. Sorry, it's like the ring light is everywhere. This is where you start getting into the tricky colors to fight with, pretty much. So, 6 is dark blonde with an orange red undertone. So now the reds are coming in. And then the rest of this is pretty much red, which is your undertone of your color. So if you have a girl with 5 or darker hair, it's going to have red in it. Red is going to be the color that you're going to have to fight with. And that is a very, very difficult color to deal with. And in school they kind of show us a little chart which we draw out, which makes things super easy. And it's pretty much like the color wheel, where it shows you what colors correct each other. So yeah, so if I've got lots of red in my hair, I'm going to put green in my hair, because green is the opposite of red, and it's going to, neutralize it. So green is going to neutralize the red in your hair. And yeah, so that's just kind of the color chart. Write it down if you're not sure. And yeah, I'll have everything in the description box just so you guys know, all my notes that I have, and I hope that helped. Okay, so now we are going to do our underlying pigments for color. And this is the numbers you're going to go for, and I'm not 100% sure if it's per color line that it's different, but this is Davinus that I learned, and yeah, so I don't know if it's different for different color lines, but this is what I learned. So I'm just going to show you guys. And I'm not trying to complicate things. If all you want to learn and all you understand right now is the naturals and the undertones, cool, stick with that. Like, don't confuse things by listening to me right now. Just turn the video off. Don't go to this. But this is going to help you when you're dealing with buying color. If you're going out there and buying a color like this, a tube of color, you're going to know what to look for and what you want. Okay? And obviously a swatch chart is going to help you immensely. I don't have one, so I'm just using tubes of color for examples. I don't have like a book or anything. I should get one, but I don't have one. But yeah, so this is going to help you with your mixing and your picking out your color, your tubes of color. So 0 is natural, and what I mean by natural is the basic color. Like if you're looking to get the most natural color you can get. You don't want it to be red, you don't want it to be ashy, you don't want it to be warm, you want it to be a natural color. You're gonna go with a whatever number, whatever level. Let's say for me it's a 9, which is my ends, 9.0 or 9N, and 9N is natural. So for example, I have these all N. Yeah, I love natural, obviously. So for example, this one is 7.03. So 7 is the level, which is what we just learned. Level is medium blonde. And then 0.00 is natural. And then 3 is gold. So this is natural or neutral, golden, medium, blonde. Okay, so that makes sense? So these are the numbers. If you're looking at a box, you're like, what the hell does that number mean? It says 02 or something, or 01. It's natural ash, natural gold, or it can even be gold copper or copper mahogany. It's all, that's how they, that's what the numbers mean. So I'm just going to go through really quick. 0 is natural, 1 is ash, 2 is iris, 3 is gold, 4 is copper, 5 is mahogany, 6 is red, and 7 is beige. I hope you guys can see that okay. I just wrote undertone pigments. Underline pigments. I'm sorry, I wrote underline pigments. I'm not 100% sure what they're called, but that's just the color chart code that I know. So I'm just going to go through a couple of examples. So here's another color I recently used. By the way, the Joico Lumi Shine is amazing. I highly recommend this color line. It's so beautiful and glossy and gorgeous. So, for example, this one is 8, which is level 8, and you guys know that as blonde or light blonde. And it is 8NWB, or next to it, it says 807. So 807, 8 is the level, 8 is whatever number is before the decimal or slash or whatever they put on the box. Usually it's a decimal. Whatever is before that is the level. So this one, for example, is 8, but it can be 5 or 4, whatever. Then you know what those colors mean, because it says, like for example, 4 is medium brown. If it says 3 on it, you know that's dark brown. So that's just going to give you a generalization example. So this one is 8.07. So looking at this chart, I know 8, well, it's not on here, but I know that 8 is light blonde, 0 is natural, and what was it, 7? 7 is beige. Beige. So I know that this tube of color, even though it says it on it, it could not sometimes. You should know the numbers, like especially if you are in a salon, you're not gonna walk up to somebody and be like, I want natural warm beige blonde. No, you're gonna say I want an 8.07 or 807, whatever. So yeah, so that's kind of what that all means. I have another tube of color, but it's the exact same one. It's 7.07, which is one level higher. So it's 7 is medium blonde, which is darker than 8. It's hard because like the numbers are backwards. You would think that 1 would be, well, I know 1 is black, but you'd think 1 would be blonde, but no, 10 is blonde, so it's backwards. So you'd think that 7 would be lighter than 8, but it's not. 8 is lighter than 7. Anyways, so this one is 7.07. So 7, which is medium blonde, and then you know 0 is natural, and 7 is beige. It's really, really easy, guys. Like I didn't understand that at all until I sat there and like stared at the numbers, and I'm like, oh my god, that makes so much sense now. So like, let's say for example, which I am now, I am a 9, let's say natural, which I'm not, but let's say I'm a 9 natural, so 9.0, so 0.0 means natural. Usually they'll put 9N, but 9.0 is the natural numbers. So 0 is natural. And I want to be level 10, which is the lightest blonde. And I want to be ash. So it would be 10.1 or 10.01, depending on if you want natural involved in that situation. So yeah, I hope this helped. I know it helped me when somebody finally explained it to me. Like, I didn't understand what this color chart meant. Like, I didn't know what these numbers meant because I learned the 1 to 10 and I'm like, these don't go to 10. Like, what is this color chart? Now it makes sense to me. So just memorize, if you're learning color, memorize these. They're super easy. All you have to do is sit there and write it down a million times. Like, randomly throughout the day, just sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to write out my color chart and I'm going to write out my pigments. And it will be really easy, and then you'll be able to use the lingo in the salon and people will be really impressed because you know what you're talking about. So now I'm going to go through peroxide with you guys and explain how it works and the different percentages you guys can use and all that stuff. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're quickly just going to talk about peroxide and then different hair colors, and then that's it. That's all we're going to talk about today. I just wanted this to be kind of basic information you guys can use for school or in the salon or just everyday life if you just want to learn. This is what I'm here for. So peroxide. Everybody is, and I've learned this in school, everybody's very different. Some people will use different, and it's different with color lines as well. And if they have ammonia in their peroxide or color, and if they have a stronger formula, whatever. It's different for every color line. But it is a personal thing, and this is the way I personally use peroxide. Some people might say this is wrong, some teachers might say this is wrong, some stylists might say this is wrong, you might say it's wrong. This is the way I use my peroxide. So we have a bunch of different porosities, volumes of developer here. And so first I'm just going to start with 5 and 7 volume. Now a lot of people say that these, not a lot of people, but some people say that these don't exist and they don't use them. They don't like using them, which I think is very silly because you can really use these and get good use out of them. So these 2 volumes, a lot of people say are used for depositing color only, which is not true. You can lift with a 5 and you can lift with a 7. I had a hairdresser and she's one of the people I look up to so much. She used a 5 when she was lifting my hair blonde because my hair was so damaged. She decided to use a 5 and lift very, very gently, and she got me to a 10 from an 8. So it is possible to use those developers for lifting. I don't know why people say you can't, it's only deposit. No, it's not. The whole concept of using peroxide, number 1, is an activator. So it activates your color. My ferrets are waking up. It activates your color and it opens up the cuticle in the hair to allow whatever product you're putting on the hair, color or bleach, to get into the shaft and shrink the color molecules or deposit molecules into the hair. So 5 and 7, a lot of people use for like Demi colors. So I'm sorry, I have animals down here. If you hear noises, that's what it is. So a lot of people use 5 and 7 for colors like Demi colors, but you can lift with them. It is possible. I've done it before. I've had people do it on me before. So if people tell you that you can't, you can. It's just a very, very gentle lift. Then we have 10, which a lot of people use to deposit color, which you can. If there's nothing wrong with that. That is, I think, one of the most used developers for coloring hair is a 10. But it also lifts, as you guys know. You can lift with any of these developers. In my opinion, you can lift with any of these. It's just going to be a really gentle or really strong. A 20 lifts, I'm sorry, so a level 10 or a 10 developer lifts 1 level. So if you are trying to go from an 8 to a 9, you can use a 10 volume and you can lift 1 level. With a 20 volume, you can lift 2 levels, but you can also still deposit with a 20. So a lot of people in my salon use 20 volume to deposit color, and they say that they use it because it really opens up the cuticle a lot more and it helps the color stay longer. And also, if you have women that have very coarse hair like Indian hair or some types of Asian hair, my ferrets are watching me, some types of Asian hair, it's just going to penetrate the hair better because that hair is very coarse and strong. 30 gives you 3 lifts, 40 gives you 4 lifts, and more. 50 volume I have never worked with. I'm pretty sure it's illegal in Canada to have a 50 volume. I've never seen it. So I didn't even put anything for it because I've never seen it. And then I'm just going to talk really quickly about different kinds of hair colors. So first we have a semi. And a semi is a pure pigment or just color that doesn't need a peroxide. You don't need to use a peroxide when you're using Manic Panic or the Joico color intensities. Any color that is just something that you just put on and wash off and it's a washout color, that is a semi, which is a pure pigment. Demi is something that you would use a 5 or a 7 with, and that is a color that is a washout color. And what I mean by washout color, I don't mean like a semi, which is obviously a color that washes out like right away. A demi is more of a color that will fade out really nicely, and it's a color that you would want to put on somebody that doesn't want to have to come in a lot to the salon and get their hair colored. It's for somebody that comes in twice or 3 times a year and gets their hair colored, and it will fade out nicely. There won't be any lines of demarcation or anything like that when they are growing their hair out. So that's what a demi is. And then a permanent is obviously the most long-lasting one. You can use a 10 or a 20 for a permanent, and it's just a color that's permanent. So all my animals are waking up now, so if you hear all those noises, I woke them all up. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was educational, and I hope you guys maybe learned something today. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, please leave them below. If there's anything that you guys want me to do a video on, maybe I can do some mannequin work. I'm thinking I might do some haircuts and some coloring on mannequins and maybe even live models. But I really want to kind of take my channel to the hair side of things because I obviously am in school to become a hairdresser and I really do love my job. So I do definitely want to start doing more hair type videos. And I know you guys love when I do hair videos on myself, but I really don't want to touch my hair, so I'm going to start maybe working on mannequins or something. I just want to know what you guys want to see. If you guys want to learn the more technical side of things, which is what I taught you today, or if you guys want to just learn hands-on, please let me know in the comments and I will try my best to do that for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video today, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys.